This is Black Maternal Health Week, and tonight we're talking about the #1 killer of new moms. It's cardiovascular disease. Black women 3 times more likely than white women to die of cardiovascular-related pregnancy complications.
But one local woman faced that risk head on and came out stronger. You looking, the little baby came. Thank goodness. We are joined tonight by heart disease survivor, thriver, Michelle Emebo. Yes. All right. Thank you for sharing and coming into our studios. Michelle, can you share about what it was like? You know, we talked a little bit about it in the green room. What happened when you got the diagnosis? How did it change your pregnancy?
To be honest, I was kind of caught off guard, and I really didn't know what was going on because everyone's like, your blood pressure's high, we need to monitor. And of course, you're worried about what's happening to the baby, not necessarily how this impacts you. But I had a great team of physicians. I was at Northwestern, and they provided really good care up until the point I gave birth to my daughter.
Did you feel different? Because I think a lot of times you don't realize that there's something wrong with you, men and or women, particularly women, because y'all looking out for us so much. Sometimes you forget about yourself. Were there some symptoms that were, now looking back, you're like, okay, that was something?
Unfortunately, no, because when you're pregnant, you're just always tired, or you might have heart flutters. Like in my mind, I'm pregnant, so this is just one of those days. If it had not been for that appointment I went into where they were doing the vital signs and the blood pressure was extremely high, wow. I'm not sure, because I would have maybe just written it off as it's just one of those, ups and downs with being pregnant.
Right.
So you didn't feel anything that, triggered something, say, hey, something's wrong here. You just always thought, I'm pregnant, so I'm tired.
I felt nothing, and they kept saying, do you feel anything? Is anything wrong with you? I'm like, no, I feel fine. What's wrong with the baby? There were no signs for me. And again, I'm just thankful that we caught it at that appointment.
Talk about the disparities between, we talked about 3 times more likely to pass to cardiovascular disease during a pregnancy for African-American women. This week, we're highlighting it. The Black Mamas Matter Alliance came up with this. Why do we need something like this?
So yes, there's a huge disparity when you look at Black women and maternal health rates. And unfortunately, we don't have an exact pinpoint on what the exact issue is. And so the best way we can handle it is bringing awareness. So my goal is, if one word from my story while a pregnant woman is watching this will help her to sit down with her provider and talk about how can I be more proactive about developing, if at risk, cardiovascular disease while pregnant, then it's worth the work that we do. But yes, there's a huge disparity among Black women, and we have a lot of work to do around research and then advocacy, and also awareness that women should know they're at risk, because I had no idea that there was even a such thing as hypertension while pregnant. You're just so worried about the baby, where we have to start emphasizing the moms, making sure we're taking care of ourselves while pregnant too.
You look absolutely fabulous. Clearly you're taking care of yourself. We're going to talk about her in just a second.
Look at the
Yes, because now she's 10.
She's going to be 10 May 7th.
Yeah,
so
wow.
This time, 10 years ago, this was when I was having the hypertension.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you doing now for your health? Clearly you're doing a lot right.
So I still take my blood pressure every week. Of course, when I went through that episode, I ended up getting a blood pressure cuff, but I'm still very cautious about my blood pressure. Do I have hypertension? No. But again, I didn't know what caused it, right? And both my mom and dad have had cardiovascular episodes. Both of them have had strokes. Again, we don't know what caused it. My dad's a smoker. My mom didn't know exactly why. So this is like a health issue that I want to be proactive about. The other thing I do is really dial my nutrition in. So when I was trying to come off my blood pressure medication, I met with a nutritionist, and she had me cut out all sodium in my food, which meant I lived in the city. I could not go out and eat. They're so a part of the culture.
No fast food.
They have a new menu here. This new restaurant's open. So it's key for that, yeah.
You're part of Go Red for Women.
Yes.
Judy Sue and I have emceed that event many times, and that's where I first met you many years ago. I have cardiovascular disease. I lost my father when he was just 44. I was just a boy. But it hits home for me to talk about this, but more importantly, to talk about women.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know that statistic, which is You're more susceptible. Yeah, it's
and
the
it's the number one killer.
It's
Yeah,
the number one
so
killer.
and then you add being pregnant to the mix, and and there's stress being pregnant, and you always just think, oh, I'm just stressful. But Rob has always loved your testimony. He remembers it from.
Well, I remember
at
truthfully,
the
your
event.
daughter is so cute. I mean, she's so cute. And now she's almost 10. It is terrific.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing something right, and this is a start.
Yes.
Alert, awareness, speaking, focusing on this week and beyond. After this week is over, we need to, make sure we're paying attention to everything. So,
Yes.
healthy babies, healthy moms
Yes.
matter. Of course,
Yes.
dads too.
Right. No, I got you. Michelle, thanks for coming in and sitting
Yeah.
down and sharing your story again.
Thank you for having me.
Because like you said, just one person, right?
Just one person. And I get the text messages, the emails. People stop me at the gym and they're like, your story inspired me.
Yeah.
Boom.
So
That's
this
it.
awareness, it works. You don't, it might not seem like it, but it works.
Thank you for spending time on our
Thank you
streaming
for having
show.
me.
You never know who you touch